December at the latest is what he's aiming for. He actually premiered it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And it does so many different things, but it does them all well. The movie's got a great atmosphere, great pacing, great editing. I really liked it. I really did.
Good to hear. My biggest complaint, well, not complaint because I haven't seen the movie, but my biggest fear kind of going into this is that the angry video game nerd character might wear thin over the length of a feature-length film. I mean, it works in the small doses that are his reviews, but is it maybe too much over the length of a movie?
I don't see how that could ever wear thin, but for the sake of someone for whom it could, I would say no, because again, it's the editing and the way the plot's done, and you see more of he doesn't just do the same thing that he does in the films. He does that and then more, and it's the more that helps dilute what you've already seen. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not 2 hours of him, pouring fake shit over games. It's, you see him at his job, you see him, doing other things, interacting with other people outside of what you see on YouTube, which is just, the nerd cave, basically. So you see him out in the environment and interacting with others, and it adds more dimension to that character than what you've seen on YouTube. So no, it wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. It seems, from what you're telling me, it's very self-aware and indulgent, but in a good way.
Yes. And
I'm really not opposed to that sort of thing. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, sparkling champagne is nice, but you can't have that every night, and sometimes you need to take a shot of whiskey to cleanse the palate.
Yeah, I've actually gotten to where I prefer movies that are absurd and self-indulgent. Just because, I mean, everything tries to be so fucking polished and so perfect these days. And it's gotten to the point to where they almost become self-parodies. At least it's great to see movies that know it and don't try.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
No. I get that. I get that. Well, here's hoping, I enjoy it when I finally get around to seeing it. It should, I've always enjoyed the nerd, and, given his love for kaiju films, I'm especially interested to see how that plays into it, because I did not know that kaiju would be a part of the plot. I know the basic plot of it, but I didn't think it would be something that, I didn't think it would include kaiju. So the fact that that's in there, and the fact that I know that he's a kaiju fan, I'm interested to see how he does it, how that sort of plays. I'm looking forward to it. So.
He does it better than Roland Emmerich did.
No, let's not set our sights too low.
Yeah, true.
Moving on. We're gonna take a left turn. And we're going to talk about some more Masterpiece Transformers. We talked a bit about Masterpiece. We talked a lot about Masterpiece Star Sabre last week, and we touched a bit on Masterpiece Exhaust. Masterpiece Exhaust being a repaint of a new head of Masterpiece Wheeljack. And today we're actually going to talk a bit about Masterpiece Wheeljack because we've got in hand pictures of the figure, and I particularly wanted to bring this one up because, damn it, I know you're a big Wheeljack fan, and I want to know what you think about this.
I have nothing bad to say about it.
Really?
No. I mean, it's obviously Wheeljack. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything there that I could possibly complain about.
Indeed. I mean, this is sort of the whole Masterpiece thing. This, I think, is... It almost seems like it's as perfect a toy as you could make out of a G1 cartoon Wheeljack, while still making him a figure that can realistically transform into a car.
Right. I mean, this goes back to what we were saying about Star Sabre last week. It takes the G1 design,
mm-hmm.
it improves on it in the sense that it makes it like the cartoon. It doesn't try to make it like the original toy, which the original Wheeljack toy wasn't, far from the worst offender for, crappy G1 toys that looked nothing like their on-screen counterparts. Looking at you, Ironhide. But still, it still needed a little bit of an update, and that's what it got, a little bit of an update. And they did it right.
I mean, we've actually been spoiled for really good updates of Wheeljack. We got the, Generations Wheeljack.
Yeah.
Which, I guess in a lot of ways is sort of the budget version of this. It's the Wheeljack, it's the G1 Wheeljack you buy if you don't want to pay Masterpiece prices.
Yeah.
Then we got the Transformers Prime Wheeljack, which obviously was more in line with the Prime aesthetic, but it very heavily drew on G1 Wheeljack. So, even if the character kind of did his own thing, the Prime Wheeljack really wasn't G1 Wheeljack character-wise, but, design-wise, he drew heavily on it. And I know you've got, Prime Wheeljack.
Yes.
And I've got Generations Wheeljack, and you look at those two figures, they're both very good. They both draw heavily on G1 Wheeljack. Both fantastic figures, and you figure, if you're a Wheeljack fan, well, between these two, I'm set. I don't have to spend any more money. And then they come out with this.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, do I like the figure? Yes, I really do. And because of what you just said, we've had some good versions of Wheeljack already in the last few years. I don't see anything really compelling me to get this.
Yeah, that is the downside. Masterpieces, and they have, since they started doing the classic Autobot cars, they've started making them smaller, and that's brought the price down. So, Masterpiece Wheeljack isn't going to be as expensive as, say, Masterpiece Star Sabre or Masterpiece Optimus Prime. But it's still going to be pricey for what it is.
Yeah.
And that price, especially when you consider that these things won't be in big box retail. The only way you can get this if you live in North America would be to order online, and that involves shipping, and that involves middle party markups.
Right.
Middleman markups.
And there's really nothing here. I mean, it's a good figure. I don't see anything that's so good about it versus what I already have to compel me to pay that kind of price for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. The mass retail Wheeljacks that we've gotten over the past couple of years have really kind of scratched that itch. And I look at this, I say, this is probably better than both of them in terms of capturing the spirit of G1 Wheeljack, but damn it, what I've got is pretty good, is good enough, and I didn't have to pay $80 plus shipping for it. So
now, I mean, if we could get Ironhide,
yeah.
For fuck's sake,
they've got to do Masterpiece Ironhide at some point.
His face was a sticker, Mike. His face was a sticker with a fucking smiley face on it.
I know, it's so that toy.
A fucking smiley face.
That toy's so absurd.
That is the toy that Shattered Christmases from the 80s were made of. It happened to me, sir. It happened to me.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that... Well, I know exactly what happened, but, I understand why it was the way it was, but damn it. And Hasbro, I don't know what it is, but, there seems to be some mental block going on at Hasbro where, a good Wheeljack toy is impossible, because they made a Generations Wheeljack. I mean, Ironhide. They made a Generations Ironhide.
I don't really care for it all that much.
It sucked! I mean, Ironhide's simple. He's a boxy van who turns into a boxy robot. Why are we having trouble with this? Yeah, but, again, kind of steering us off the reservation because this is kind of news that came up as we were recording. Even more pictures of Masterpiece Star Sabre have been released, and I think after seeing it, you might want to revise your opinion because these new pictures make him seem much better than the previous ones.
Yeah, lay it on me.
So these are the newest pictures of Masterpiece Star Sabre.
Well, let's take a gander here. I need something to purge my mind of Doctor Doom.
And in my opinion, that kind of...
Okay. Well, then what the fuck was that they showed the other day? Just a prototype?
No, I think it was probably a combination of a prototype and just being posed poorly. Because the thing about Transformers toy shoots is that...
They don't know how to transform their own toys when they photograph them.
Well, yeah, because the department that does PR isn't the part of the company that designs the toys. So you send the toy down to the photographer to be shot, to be put in promotional items, and he's like, "How do I do Transformers?"
Well, here's a fucking thought: send a fucking intern down there with basic motor skills and say, "Hey, this is how you fucking do it."
But these new pictures, he seems much sleeker.
Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, no, I totally eat what I said last week because this is...
He seems sleeker. They've got the red pods on the shoulders, which actually go a long way to break up the monotonous white. I don't know. I see this. I see, this actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm down with this. I love that sword. That sword's fucking badass.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see alt mode here.
Well, the sword is the thing. I mean, even before he became a bad guy, Star Sabre's it's weird. Star Sabre's gone through a weird character thing. Cause in G1, in the Japanese G1 show where he was introduced, he was, basically a righteous, upstanding Autobot paladin. And then in Energon, when they decided to bring the character back, he was a whiny prison guard.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back in IDW, only now he's an evil paladin. So, Star Sabre's gone through the kind of an emotional roller coaster there as far as his characterization goes. If you've been following the character since, his earliest days of the Japanese G1 shows, then you're like, I don't know who the fuck he is anymore. But, anyway, sir, I've got a link to his alt mode.
Oh, okay, cool.
There it is.
Let's take a look at this. Waiting. Oh, yeah, no, that's, yeah.
I mean, it's a boxy 80s spaceship, which is what he was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's unoffensive. It's pretty cool. I like it,
Indeed. My only concern here is, again, Masterpiece prices, and I keep thinking, is this really what I want? Do I want to pay? I want an updated Star Sabre that's actually good, but do I want to pay Masterpiece prices for him? And I don't know if I do, and I really hope that at some point, Hasbro, with their newfound appreciation for the IDW designs, takes IDW Star Sabre and makes him a thing. I really want a good Star Sabre toy, and this looks to be that. But again, that price is going to be really inhibitive.
Okay. I know the origins of this was that Takara did a fan vote.
Yes.
And this is what the fans wanted, and understandably so. There's been a drought for Star Sabre. But you would think Hasbro, not Takara, Hasbro would use Generations as kind of like a test market.
Mm-hmm.
Put things out and do something like this. Right, exactly.
And then if the Generations version sells, that means there's probably going to be a market for the Masterpiece version.
Right.
Well, I've kind of come around to your theory that they've been using the third party almost as an unofficial product testing.
Yeah,
let them waste the R&D on, classics Roadbuster. And if it sells, then we'll make our own.
I mean, I might be a crazy conspiracy theorist, but even I come across one that's right every now and then.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that we're getting combiners so soon after the glut of third-party combiners really